Parties last night were confident that it would go through. They were actually talking late into the night, but it is not finalized yet. The players have not been notified yet because this situation is still kind of pending.
I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but the Mookie Betts and David Price trade from the Boston Red Sox to the LA Dodgers is not complete yet, even though it's been about 2 days since Jeff Passan and Ken Rosenthal reported that the deal was about to be done. But again, with physicals and some money not being agreed upon, the Mookie Betts trade, it might not happen. Like, I'm 99% sure that it is not going to happen, but 1% of baseball writers and analysts out there, reporters, they believe that this might be a big enough issue to the point where the Boston Red Sox negate everything, get back their star player in Mookie Betts and even David Price, and then everyone just says, you know what, redo, we might start over, or we might just null and void the trade altogether. So that's exactly what we're going to talk about right now. The two snags involve the Twins, which is why I got the Twins hat on, and then the Angels hat. So I'm trying to match for you guys. So if you like baseball content, I post it every single day. We are on the road to 200,000 subscribers. If we can get there before opening day, I will be over the moon. So without further ado, let's start talking baseball. The first snag in the Mookie Betts trade is going to involve this team right here, the Minnesota Twins. If you guys do not remember, the Dodgers sent Kenta Maeda to the Minnesota Twins. So Kenta Maeda is a former starting pitcher slash relief pitcher for the Dodgers. They sent him to the Minnesota Twins, and then the Minnesota Twins sent their top prospect, Brusdar Graterol, or Graterol. His last name is really hard to say. I apologize for that, but he was sent to the Boston Red Sox. So pretty much the final recap of the trade: Alex Verdugo and Brusdar Graterol to the Red Sox, and then Kenta Maeda to the Minnesota Twins. Also, there's some Joc Pederson issues. We're going to talk about him in just a second. Do not go anywhere. But at this point, Brusdar failed a physical. I don't know why the Boston Red Sox scout did not dig more into this, because they traded for this guy and they wanted him to be a part of their starting rotation, which is not going to happen because once they figured out his physical and that he failed, so he failed but also passed. He failed at the fact that he couldn't be a starting pitcher. He's projected to be a relief pitcher, so he's not trying to throw 150 to 200 innings. And I think the biggest reason why is because if you've never seen this dude pitch, I'll go ahead and throw out some highlights. He throws anywhere from 100 to 103, maybe sometimes even 104. He is a straight flamethrower, pretty much Joel Sumaya 2.0, and that's where it comes into play. He fails his physical, and at this point, the Boston Red Sox might want to pull back the deal because, like I said at the beginning of the video, it is not complete. It is not deal done. Like, if this was Howie Mandel and Deal or No Deal, pretty much Major League Baseball and the baseball gods are saying no deal at this point. So that's the first issue. Are the Minnesota Twins going to have to send back some other prospects? Is Kenta Maeda going to go back to the Dodgers because now the Dodgers are going to give some money back to the Boston Red Sox as opposed to a prospect from the Twins, because it was a 3-team trade? It's a little bit confusing. I hope that you guys are understanding. So the main synopsis of the first snag is the fact that Graterol, the prospect, the starting pitcher who can't be a starting pitcher because he fails a physical from the Minnesota Twins, who was sent to the Boston Red Sox, it might not happen. So I want you guys to keep a lookout, stay up to date on MLB.com, but I wanted to give you guys that news because it's real, it's here, and it could be an issue. And honestly, if you're a Red Sox fan, there's a little bit of hope that Mookie Betts might not be going anywhere. So yeah, there's that. So while this does not involve the Mookie Betts trade to the Dodgers, we're still going to talk about how the Dodgers made a trade that same night that might fall through as well. Joc Pederson, Ross Stripling, and a guy, I think his name is Andy Pages. 3 Dodgers players are going to the Angels in exchange for a guy named Luis Rengifo. I like Luis Rengifo. I don't think that he's going to be a 30 home run, 900 OPS guy, but him in the Dodgers lineup, I think that he's going to be able to play a lot of different positions. He's probably going to hit anywhere from 10 to 15 home runs, driving 45 to 50 RBIs, steal you a couple bags. I think he's going to be pretty awesome. But the thing right now is this trade is also on hold potentially because Joc Pederson is currently going through arbitration with the Dodgers. So the Dodgers, they offered him $7.75 million. So that's what the Dodgers think Joc Pederson is worth. Whereas Joc Pederson wants about $9.5 million. So they're pretty much separated. Let's just round up to $2 million. Let's say that Joc Pederson wins. So he gets $9.5 million. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen because I don't think the Angels signed up for an almost $10 million contract, whereas they want to save closely $2 million. So we're going to have to keep a lookout for this. So Ross Stripling, I think that he's a great addition to the Angels. He might not be going there. I think that you have Andy Pages, a 19-year-old that had 18 home runs in his rookie season. That is amazing. This guy could be a potential star, and he was almost a throw-in with Joc Pederson, who had his best offensive season in 2019. Ross Stripling has never had an ERA over 4. I mean, he's pretty much a mid-3 guys, maybe even sometimes a low 3. So he's really good. He is going to bolster that Angels rotation, although I don't think that the Angels rotation is formidable just yet. Ohtani's going to be good. Stripling is pretty good as a number 2 or 3. And then Canning, he showed some promise, but he still has some work to do. But there's a lot of stuff going on right now about trades from the Dodgers that might not happen. So again, to recap, Brusdar Graterol, the top prospect who was sent to the Boston Red Sox, failed a physical as a starting pitcher, but he can still be used as a relief guy. So we'll see if that happens. I think the Boston Red Sox, they could use some relief help, but it's not worth it at that point. It's kind of like the Twins almost robbed the Dodgers because a 31-year-old for a 20-year-old. I mean, so Twins fans might be happy. Boston Red Sox might be happy if this thing just falls to pieces. And then also Joc Pederson to the Angels, based on arbitration and what happens as a result of that. He could be there, he could be not. There's 2 snags, really big snags, so each deal is not official. So I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that these will get done, or are you on the side of no, please, I'm a Boston Red Sox fan. For the love of baseball lords, make it fail so we get Mookie Betts back. So Godspeed. I hope that you guys get him back because, yeah, I feel bad for Boston Red Sox fans. Literally minutes after the Mookie Betts trade went down, again, it's still not official, a tweet came out saying that Kris Bryant is now the center of attention for trade talks. He's been talking about, or actually the baseball community has been talking about him potentially going to the Phillies or maybe even the Nationals, because the Nationals, they lost out on Anthony Rendon and Josh Donaldson. They do have a young prospect in Carter Kieboom, but I feel like they would try and get an established star for Kieboom, which would result in possibly a Kris Bryant trade. So the Cubs, they would get Carter Kieboom from the Nationals or Alec Boehm of the Philadelphia Phillies. I would love to see Kris Bryant in a Philadelphia Phillies uniform or even on the Nationals. I think that would be great. But the thing is, Anthony Rizzo might not let this happen. He is actually upset with the Chicago Cubs. He called them out. So there's a quote yesterday. He was on ESPN 1000. He says, "It's frustrating." So he's talking about hearing Kris Bryant rumors. He says, "It's frustrating. We got 2 more years left with a lot of core guys. Why don't we go and try to win another World Series?" So I am fully with Anthony Rizzo. It's really sad. It's just really sad that teams are starting to go the route of trading guys as opposed to keeping homegrown players. Mookie Betts, Manny Machado, all of these guys that came up with their proper teams have now been traded, and Kris Bryant might be the next victim. So Rizzo is saying, we've already lost Joe Madden. There was some stuff happening on a personal side with, what was his name, Addison Russell. So the Cubs, they don't look that great right now. And honestly, the Kris Bryant rumors, they don't put them in a better light, in my opinion. I mean, they have been talking about Jason Kipnis and him being their second baseman. I don't really know what to make about the Cubs. There was a prediction that the Cubs are an 82-win club in 2020, which is not even going to be enough to win second place in their division. So Cubs fans, let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that this trade should happen, or are you on the side of Anthony Rizzo, that you have the core pieces, you just need a few more, and maybe you could win a chip again? Let me know. All right, guys, so the final stories from today, I do want to quickly go over them, but they're not as big as the previous couple that we've talked about. James Paxton, a pitcher for the New York Yankees. He's an absolute stud when he's healthy, but that is the operative word, healthy. He won't be that until about 3 or 4 months from now. He had spinal surgery, so I hope that he gets better. I know that a lot of people like to clown on the Yankees and hate on the Yankees and their fan base, because I'll let you guys know. Even though I agree with the Yankees a couple of videos ago, they still were hitting the dislike button because of a title and a thumbnail, so don't be so soft. Don't be so triggered. But yeah, James Paxton will be out at least 3 to 4 months due to surgery on his spine. I hope that he gets better. There was a cyst on it, which is never good, because having a cyst on your back can sometimes lead to you being paralyzed or losing functions in your body. So get well, James Paxton. That sucks. 2 minor things that I do want to bring up as well, because it's almost kind of breaking news. Max Muncy just signed a 3-year extension with the LA Dodgers worth $26 million. He also has a $13 million option for the 4th year, so he is going to be a member of the Dodgers for quite some time. I'm going to go ahead and give him a quick round of applause. He was with the A's. He almost retired from baseball, and then the Dodgers, they plucked him and they said, you know what, we're going to give you a chance, and he has been one of the best power infielders that I've seen in my entire life. So good for Max Muncy. And also Marco Gonzalez of the Seattle Mariners is getting his cheese, he's getting his bread. 4 years, $30 million. Awesome for him as well. I love when players get paid, regardless of if it's $400 million or $30 million. Good for them. Remember, guys, if you do like baseball content, we are on the road to 200,000 subscribers before opening day. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure you slap a like. And the final clip that I want to show you is from the birthday boy himself. I wanted to make sure he was in the shot today. Babe Ruth. Today would have been his birthday. I don't know how old he would have been, but we're going to go ahead and end the video with the clip of Babe Ruth. Maybe some of you have never heard Babe Ruth actually say words. I, for one, can't remember what he sounds like. So this is going to be good for all of us. Thank you guys for watching. I'll update you if Mookie Betts and Joc Pederson and David Price and Brusdar Graterol or whatever happens with this trades and the multitude of trades. I'll let you know what happens. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the Babe Ruth clip.
Now look at the shape you're in. Look where those feet are. Now get back there and watch me show you. So you wind up, and when you throw it, just follow your arm right through. Now let's see you do that. That's fine.